everyone, it's Blair. This project, I got word that I'm going to be a grandpa and I got asked to make a crib, so I'm pretty excited about that, pretty excited about being a grandpa. So we're going to build a country style crib that my son and daughter-in-law picked out, drew the plans out. I'll post the link in the bottom for all the cutting, design and whatnot, so it'll be a PDF. Help yourself. Anyways, let's get started.
A few moments later.
So, minor mishap with the camera, and you didn't get to see all the cutting out, but you all know how a table saw works, so we don't need to talk about that. So everything's broke down, rough, finish. Now the next step is going to be routing the edges, cleaning them up, and these are all our spindles. So they're going to be a mortise and tenon joint into the rails, so we're going to have to notch the male part of the joint. We're going to do that on both ends, so get those ready. And then we'll get the drill press set up, and we'll drill the fancy square holes in our rails, and then we'll be probably a lot more sanding, and then a little more sanding, and some more sanding after that. And then we're going to do some staining, and then we're going to start assembling. So lots more work to come, and I'll see if I can get the camera figured out so you don't miss anything. Alright, so the next process we're going to be looking at doing is getting our square holes drilled so that we can get all the railing parts embedded into the top and bottom rails. So I've marked them off. Those are the tongues are basically 1 inch by ½ inch. So we marked all these one, and we're going to be using a mortise bit to drill our square holes. So let's give her and see what happens. Nice square holes. We'll a bit of chip out there, but we'll be fine. Clean that out with a chisel. It's all just loose shavings. So let's continue on. Ready to go. So I got the holes drilled in the end rails, and to mark out for the front rail, which is the only one that has the actual spindles in it. So according to the plan that was drawn out, so my spindles, I need a 2-inch gap in between. So what I have to do is deduct a 1/4 inch, and then because of my tongue, so I have all my 1-inch spots all marked out, which will actually end up giving me the 2-inch gap in between railing. Canadian rules and regulations state no more than 2 3/8 inches, so I'm going to go a little bit smaller at 2 inches and make sure everything's good and safe for my little grandson on the way. So I'll get back at her and we'll drill some more of the holes. And it is a little bit tough slugging doing that with the Mortison 10-inch jig on the drill press, but notice it does work a little better if the drill bit down here sits out slightly below. It seems to drill quite a bit better and clean itself out, but it is a bit of a slow process, but it's all worth it in the end for safety reasons. So let's get back at her. So we got a few spindles to do, and they all got to be sanded. We put them through the big thickness sander, took them down to Great Grandpa's to get that done, but now we got to do the hand sanding with the orbital and get them all cleaned up. So that's next on the list. Good times are coming. The time has now come to sand the pile. We got this part sanded. All we've done since we last videoed, which my card was full, is we dadoed all our joints. So as you can see, we put it's about a 5/8 by 1 inch deep dado for our plates. We go on the back plane. We've got all our bed slats cut. We have our cross members cut for decorative purposes. They're about 1/2 inch thick and routed the edges of those. The legs, everything's been routed that needs to be. So basically we are now at the stage of sand, and more sand, which I don't think you want to watch. One other thing we did get done is that I have to take out the clamps, is we cut 1x6, and these are for the back panels. So we'll sand those. We don't have a planer big enough. They're 25 inches wide. So we'll sand those and try to line them up the best we could while it's gluing. So we'll get those cleaned up, and those will slide into those slots, and they'll be fixed in the middle so they can float. This is spruce, so there is a lot of shrinkage, and we want to allow for that without any splitting of the wood for little fingers to get in. So without further ado, let us sand.
Many hours later.
Unfortunately, I missed recording all the staining for the woodwork that was going on. When staining this, be sure to use non-toxic stain, as the little guys will be chewing on this, and a non-toxic coating that brushes on over top. I was able to get both the coatings at Windsor Plywood in Edmonton for coating this crib. We attached and need to come apart for this crib. I ordered the metal inserts or threaded inserts from Amazon. I think it was $18 for close to 100 of them, and it comes with a drill bit and the Allen key for putting them in, and then it was a 1/4 inch NPT thread. So it made everything much easier to put together and take apart so it can be transported. sorry, I didn't have the camera on the right setting here. So during assembly, you want to be sure everything is tight, no fingers can fit in anywhere, and follow all Canadian rules and regulations. You can find that on the internet, just to double check for yourself. And when you're all done, make sure you load test this. My youngest son, probably 150 pounds, crawled in here and rolled around, and it was able to hold his weight, so we are good. Thanks for watching.